Hi Ultimate Gardeners, welcome back to the Ultimate Gardening channel. My name is Emmanuel Arce, well known to be the Ultimate Gardener. In today's exciting sprouting video, I want to discuss with you guys about 5 garden mistakes I committed this year that I won't be repeating next year. I'm making this video to showcase to you guys that there's no perfect gardener out there, and by making mistakes year after year, we learn and we improve our gardens year after year. So by making this video, I'll help you guys prevent these mistakes in your own garden, and we all succeed in our gardens year after year together. So let's go ahead and jump right into this video and talk about our first garden mistake. So coming at number 1 is not starting enough seeds. I know we all love plants, and for me personally, I'm really impatient when it comes to the garden, and I really just want to see every plant to their maximum capacity year after year. But sometimes we have to save money on some plants and in the garden, and so we have to find some more affordable ways to do it, and seed starting is the way to do it. This year I set a goal of doing a lot of plants from seed, and unfortunately I didn't meet that goal. So I always have to actually set a goal to myself that I have to start more seeds year after year, because it's more affordable and you're able to grow the varieties you love, not only for flowers but for vegetables as well. So starting more seeds is very important for the average home gardener who's on a budget and loves seeing their plants growing from a tiny seed to all the way to harvest, or even until they bloom. So number 1 is not starting enough seeds. Number 2 is neglecting parts of the garden. Everybody wants an evenly beautiful garden like I do, but sometimes we do end up neglecting parts of the garden like I did this year. Behind me, I did neglect this vegetable garden that was behind me because I got a whole bunch of things on my schedule to do, and I completely forgot to spend time in the garden, which is a huge bad thing to do, especially if you have a heavy garden like I do. And so keeping on top of maintenance, weeding, fertilizing is very necessary. So when you have time in the garden, make sure you put those on the top of the list so they can get done and you can have a beautiful garden throughout the year. So please don't try to neglect parts of the garden. But unfortunately, sometimes like I did this year, I did neglect parts of the garden, but try not to do it year after year so we can improve having a beautiful garden every time it comes up fresh from the spring and then goes to sleep for the winter. So make sure you have that checked off. Number 3 is not growing enough vegetables. In some other situations, it's probably not growing enough flowers, but in my situation, it's not growing enough vegetables. I love growing vegetables when it comes to cabbage, zucchini, squash, beans. I absolutely love it because of the harvest and the beautiful delight and the feeling you get when you have that beautiful harvest. But unfortunately this year I did fail in growing the amount of vegetables I desired, and so I really need to go ahead and put that to the top of my list, because my growing season has not finished yet, because our prime growing season is actually in winter, where the temperatures get below our average temperature because it's way too hot for average vegetables here. And so our growing season is usually in late fall to early winter, which is really great on this part, and I still have time to do it, but I wish I could have done more early on in spring and in summer, which I did have a few crops that I could have grown. So number 3 is not growing enough vegetables, but in other situations is not growing enough flowers. Number 4 is not staying on top of treating your diseased plants. I know I'm probably not the only gardener there. Hopefully I'm not the only one in this area, but I know treating your plants can get very tiring, especially if they are at a very bad altitude like this one right here. This is a white guava I have behind me, and it's heavily diseased with black mold and a whole bunch of other type of disease. And I did start spraying it, but I didn't finish the treatment of this specific tree, and it has gotten completely bad. And so we want to have healthy, beautiful gardens, and that requires, once again, maintenance. And when it comes to diseased plants like this one, we have to stay on top of spraying, because you don't want this disease spraying out in your garden and affecting the future date of your plant. So make sure you stay on top of spraying. I know it could be very difficult at times because it's very time consuming when it comes to spraying, but it's worth it at the end. So I have to stay on top of spraying this tree so we can actually have a harvest off of it and keep the plant looking great, because right now it looks like it's been through an entire fire, an entire something, but it's completely bad right now. And so number 4 is not staying on top of treating your plants. Number 5 is wasting space. I know gardeners out there, including me, have time where we have spaces in our garden that we're able to grow, whether it be crops or whether it be flowers, but we end up not doing anything, and that space is a complete waste. I have certain spots in my garden that has to be worked on, but throughout the entire growing season, they have stayed blank. So you want to make sure to keep on top of your schedule to make sure every single notch and corner of your garden that is available for planting is planted up. So that's going to be it for this exciting sprouting video. Those are 5 garden mistakes I did in my garden this year that won't be repeated next year. Hopefully you guys found this video educational, informative, and it could inspire you to not commit these mistakes and do better in your garden year after year, and we all improve in our planting, in our seed starting, in our plant treatment, and maximizing gardening space so you can have a luscious, beautiful growing season for the next following up year. So thank you all so much for watching this video. Leave me any comments down below on any garden mistakes you committed this year and that you have learned a lesson from and you won't be repeating next year as well. So thank you all so much for watching this video. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button down below, and while you're down there, please consider subscribing to show the Ultimate Gardening some support. And please leave me any comments down below on what you thought of this video, as well as any other video suggestions you would like to see, and I will gladly do them. Thank you all so much for watching this video. May God bless you and your family, and never forget to grow big, Ultimate Gardeners. Bye guys.